Okay, Studio 47 here. I haven't been saying that lately. Saying what it is. This is Studio 47, not Studio 42 with Bob Costas. If you don't know how it got the name Studio 47, you have to go back to the Take Me Out to the Ball Game videos, and it'll be explained to you how we come up with that name. Now here, I took the glasses off, trying to improve things, trying to make it, another thing, where'd I get this, the turkey neck? I have no idea. I didn't have a turkey neck all through life. Now I got this turkey neck. And I said to my granddaughter, I better not go out at Thanksgiving. I'd be a goner. I wouldn't make it. So that the name of this one, let's get down to business though. The name of this one is going to be It's a Girl. Be the name of the video. The other day people a lot of times don't watch the video, but they'll have a comment. They'll tell you something about it. I think it was the one about contraceptives. My son said it's a woman's right. He didn't bother watching the video, but he had something to say about that. It's a girl. And let's start. Oh, I lost my line of thought. And this is not easy. Go ahead, pick up the microphone and talk for a few minutes and all. It's tough. It's tough. Here I lost the thought that I had this second ago, and it's gone. Oh, I know what it was. Or do I know what it was? Right in the middle of the thing, and you can't remember it. Oh, I commented that I had 4 children, and I know darn well I've got 5 children, and yet somewhere, you start talking, you had 5. And do with that contraceptive issue, it don't take nothing but common sense to tell you who did what. If you had 5, you had 5. If you had 10, you had 10. And the rest of the people are liars. It's easy to figure out. If you had none, figure it out. Okay, it's a girl. That was an important thing. I'm glad I got it in there. And finally remembered it. The firstborn, and he was born right on time, figured it out in months and everything. Perfect. Right on time. We named him Mark. My wife does the naming, because with me, I have all kind of ideas. I wanted to name one after the Geronimo. Ridiculous. Another one, the Lone Ranger had a Tonto. How do you name a kid Tonto? It wouldn't be proper. Anyway, though, the name Mark, I remember my wife, I took her to the hospital, and then I come home. She told me go home. I went home, nothing happened the whole night, and I went to work. It was a Saturday. I went to work. I was working with my father, and he told me, go home, Lunar. And I went home, and I picked up the Bible. I was looking at the Bible. The first thing I seen was, how their titles are you know, it said Mark something or other that whatever I was reading, but it said Mark, and Mark was born. And then and it's always the nurse comes out and tells you it's a boy. It's a boy. The second one was David. Now, Doris, her mom had a baby, David, that only lived for 2 weeks or something, and he passed away. So David was kind of named after the David that had died. And then, so it's a boy. It said it's a boy. The third one, Richard. He got named after me, the poor guy. He's had his problems, his temper, and everything. He's got a bad temper. Jeez, boy. But he's a good guy. He's a real good guy. He's a real good guy. Again, the nurse brings the baby out. It's a boy, another boy. And each time we would go to the hospital, I did some of the things that went on. I remember getting a call from work, from where I worked, and I used to take care of whatever come up that night and everything. And they called, there was a problem with the boiler, and I knew what the thing with the boiler was. You had it was oil-fired oil, and I had to clean the electrodes. I know what I gotta do before, you know, the electrodes are dirty. So I'm taking her to the hospital. She's ready to have it. And but I gotta stop at the plant to fix the boilers. She's sitting outside waiting those few minutes or what. And one of them, I went in, and this guy was sitting there. He'd been there forever, I guess. He all disheveled and everything. Maybe he'd been there 2-3 days or something. I don't know. And it's like he's in line. We're in line, you know, just him and me. And I sat down and I picked up the Post magazine, New York Post or whatever the name of it was, and there was an article in there about the outfielder for the Boston Red Sox, Jimmy Pearsall, who was a nut. And I read the article, and I just finished the article, only the length of time it took to read the article, and the nurse come out, and it's a boy. And I figured for the other guy, he's first one in line. But that poor guy, it wasn't for him, it was for me. It was another boy. And the fourth one was named, I guess, after my wife's father, a good man. And she named him after her father, Paul. And it was appropriate. It was appropriate. And then we're finished. We're finished. Enough's enough. 4 boys, that's it. My wife had it. And so 10 years go by. 10 glorious years. I don't think she thought they were too glorious. Probably at that time I was doing some drinking and everything, but I was a good hell of a worker. I was a workaholic, an alcoholic and a workaholic at the same time. The plant would call me in the middle of the night. I'd have to go. I'd get up out of that bed and go, you know. Now I'm not worth 2 cents. But in them days, I did it. I did it at Quigley's, and I did it at Carter Wallace. Carter Wallace was made in heaven. I was 5 minutes from the plant. Quigley's, I wasn't far from the plant. And they'd call me in the middle of the night. It was perfect, you know. So those 10 years, we would call them the kind of the baseball playing years, and the working years, and drinking beer years, I guess. And Finally, my wife, this is true, my wife said to me that I had been a good, what do you call it, not supporter, earner, a good earner and everything, and I'd done it good, but I didn't give her the little girl. And how this works, I have no idea. As soon as that thought got in his noggin, and that maybe before we got too old, and she was getting, about 38 or something like that, and by the time 38, 39, I don't know, and by the time the baby's born, it takes 9 months. And also, we were getting up in age. But when I got it in my noggin, then maybe, bingo. And my wife was not a happy camper. She didn't like the idea of going through all that again and everything else and all. And we used up the insurance with false calls and false alarms and all kind of stuff, But this time when they came out, it's a girl. Unbelievable. Finally. And Brenda Mary. How did she get that name? Brenda Mary. And I don't know what I would have named her. I guess the Mary part would be, my mother was Mary, but why did she name her after her mother? I never even thought about it. Brenda Star or something, I remember in the paper. I had no idea. But she named her Brenda. And Brenda's a lot. Has kind of a crazy personality like I do. And that was our little girl, the 5th one. Okay, that wasn't too bad. It at least told a little bit of the story. And now you got 2 minutes, those limits. But as far as the children, 5. I know it's 5. It's not 4. It's 5. And 4 boys, and it's a girl, the 5th one. And I love them all equally, each and every one. I try not to play any kind of favoritism. No way. Each one the same. I could be good, or I could lose it. I got that temper. And but they're all good. They've all been, I'm proud of each and every one of them. They've all been good. And of course, the steady influence has always been their mother. And they all confide in their mother, to call her and everything. I'm just a telephone operator. When the phone rings, it's not from me. They want to talk to their mother. I just answer the phone till she gets on. That just about covers it. Are we an ordinary family? How could have I had an ordinary family? It wasn't in the cards for us to be ordinary. Yeah, we're ordinary. Yeah, we've had some problems and all, but what family doesn't? What family doesn't? Am I proud of them? Yeah, darn right I'm proud of them. And I think each and every one of them, you might argue or something and all, but don't go against us. Don't go against us, because we'll turn on you in a minute.